my rain-soaked friend. I guess I better stand up then.
Keeping that closed? Why, yes, it's quite comfortable in here, but when it's open, there's a bit of a draft. You know, I wasn't aware I needed rescuing, but okay, I suppose you'll do. Ah, that's the word, isn't it? A dashing prince for me to swoon over. Wouldn't that be heaven? Or could it be a less dashing? Let's do that.
Ancestors in the Dungeon, an outdated guide for foreign visitors to Morrowind. Ghosts walk among them. The departed spirits of the Dunmeri, and perhaps those of all races, persist after death. The knowledge and power of departed ancestors benefits the bloodlines of Dunmeri houses. The bond between the living family members and immortal ancestors is partly blood, partly ritual, partly volition. A member brought into the house through marriage binds himself through ritual and oath into the clan and gains communication and benefits from the clan's ancestors. However, his access to the ancestors is less than his offspring, and he retains some access to the ancestors of his own. The family shrine. Each residence has a family shrine. In poorer homes, it may be no more than a hearth or alcove where family relics are displayed and venerated. In wealthy homes, a room is set aside for the use of the ancestors. This shrine is called the Waiting Room and represents the door to oblivion. Here, the family members pay their respects to their ancestors through sacrifice and prayer, through oaths sworn upon duties, and through reports on the affairs of the family. In return, the family may receive information, training, and blessings from the family's ancestors. The ancestors are thus the protectors of the home, and especially the precincts of the Waiting Door. The Ghost Fence. It is a family's most solemn duty to make sure their ancestors' remains are interred properly in a city of the dead, such as Necrom. Here the spirits draw comfort from one another against the chill of the mortal world. However, as a sign of great honor and sacrifice, an ancestor may grant that part of his remains to be retained, to serve as a part of a ghost fence, protecting the clan's shrine and family precincts. Such an arrangement is often part of the family member's will, that a knucklebone shall be saved out of his remains and incorporated with solemn magic and ceremony into a clan ghost fence. In more exceptional cases, an entire skeleton or even a preserved corpse may be bound into a ghost fence. These remains become a beacon and focus for ancestral spirits, and for the spirit of the remains in particular. The more remains used to make a ghost fence, the more powerful the fence is, and the most powerful mortals in life have the most powerful remains. The Great Ghost Fence, created by the Tribunal to hold back the Blight, incorporates the bones of many heroes of the temple and of the houses Indoril and Redoran, who dedicated their spirits to the temple and clan as their surrogate lands. The Ghost Fence also contains bones taken from the catacombs of Necrom and the many battlefields of Morrowind. The Mortal Chill. Spirits do not like to visit the mortal world, and they do so only out of duty and obligation. Spirits tell us that the other world is more pleasant, or at least more comfortable for spirits than our real world, which is cold, bitter, and full of pain and loss. Mad spirits. Spirits that are forced to remain in our world against their will may become mad spirits, or ghosts. Some spirits are bound to this world because of some terrible circumstance of their death, or because of some powerful emotional bond to a person, place, or thing. These are called hauntings. Some spirits are captured and bound to enchanted items by wizards. If the binding is involuntary, the spirit usually goes mad. A willing spirit may or may not retain its sanity, depending on the strength of the spirit and the wisdom of the enchantment. Some spirits are bound against their wills to protect family shrines. This unpleasant fate is reserved for those who have not served the family faithfully in life. Dutiful and honorable ancestral spirits often aid in the capture and binding of wayward spirits. These spirits usually go mad and make terrifying guardians. They are ritually prevented from harming mortals of their clans, but that does not necessarily discourage them from mischievous or peevish behavior. They are exceedingly dangerous for intruders. At the same time, if an intruder can penetrate the spirit's madness, play upon the spirit's resentment of his own clan, the angry spirits may be manipulated. Oblivion. The existence of Oblivion is acknowledged by all Tamriel cultures, but there is little agreement on the nature of that other world, other than it is the place where the Aedra and Daedra live, and that communication and travel are possible between this world and Oblivion through magic and ritual. The Dunmer do not emphasize the distinction between this world and Oblivion, as do the human cultures of Tamriel. They regard our world and the other world as a whole, with many paths from one end to the other, rather than two separate worlds of different natures with distinct borders. This philosophical viewpoint may account for the greater affinity of elves for magic and its practice. Foreign views of Dunmeri ancestor worship and spirit magic. The Altmeri and Bosmeri cultures also venerated their ancestors, but only by respecting the orderly and blissful passage of these spirits from this world to the next. That is, Wood Elves and High Elves believe it is cruel and unnatural to encourage the spirits of the dead to linger in our world. Even more grotesque and repugnant is the display of the bodily remains of ancestors, those of us natural. The presentation of human bones in a family shrine, for example, is sacrilegious to the Bosman, who eat their dead, and barbaric to the Altman, who inter their dead. The human cultures of Tamriel are ignorant, fearful of Dark Elves in their culture, considering them to be inhuman and evil, like orcs and Argonians, but more sophisticated. The human populations of Tamriel associate Dunmeri ancestor worship and spirit magic with necromancy. In fact, this association of the Dark Elves with necromancy is at least partly responsible for the dark reputation of Dunmer throughout Tamriel. This is generally an ignorant misconception, for necromancy outside the acceptable clan rituals is a most abhorrent abomination in the eyes of Dunmer. The Dark Elves would never think of practicing sorcerous necromancy upon any Dark Elf, or upon the remains of any elf. However, Dark Elves consider the human and orcish races to be little more than animals. There is no injunction against necromancy upon such remains, or on the remains of animal, bird, or insect. The imperial policy officially recognizes the practice of ancestor veneration and spirit magic as a religion, and protects their freedom to pursue such practices, so long as they do not threaten the security of the Empire. Privately, most Imperial officials and traders believe Dark Elf ancestor worship and displays of remains are barbaric, or even necromantic. Telvanni necromancy. The Telvanni are adept masters of necromancy. They do not, however, practice necromancy upon the remains of Dark Elves. Sane Telvanni regard such practices with loathing and righteous anger. They do practice necromancy upon the remains of animals, and upon the remains of humans, orcs, and Argonians, who are technically no more than animals and mortals. Publisher's note. This book was written by an unknown scholar as a guide for foreign visitors to Morrowind, shortly after the armistice was signed. Many of these practices have since fallen into disfavor. The most obvious are those regarding the practice of necromancy and the great ghostmans. Dunmer today regard necromancy upon any of the accepted races as an abomination. The ghostman has forced many changes in the practice of ancestor worship, with the vast majority of ancestors' remains going to strengthen the great ghost fence around the mountain of Dagoth-Ur. There are very few clan ghost fences in Morrowind. The temple discourages such practices among the houses as selfish. The upkeep of family tombs and private waiting doors has also fallen into disfavor, as very few remains have been buried in these tombs and shrines since the armistice. In recent years, most Dunmer venerate a small portion of their ancestors' remains kept in a local temple.
Hey, is this what you mean when you shout in battle, "I'll run you down"? Or do you just enjoy bumping into me?
You die like the rest when you mess with the best.
Purloined Shadows by Wageen Yarth, a chill tale recounting the theft of Nocturnal's Cowl. Chapter 1. The candle was lit, and the thief was standing there, blinking, caught. She was young, rather dirty, wearing ragged black clothes that were surely quite smart and expensive weeks ago when she had stolen them from one of the city's best tailors. The look of surprise slipped from her face, and she took on a blank expression as she put the gold back on the table. "What are you doing here?" the man with the candle asked, stepping from the shadows. "That's a stupid question," the girl replied, frowning. "I'm obviously robbing you." "Since nothing I have is missing," the man smiled, glancing at the gold on the table, "I would have to say that you're not robbing me. Attempting to rob me, perhaps. The question I have is, why? You know who I am, I assume. You didn't just come in through an unlocked door." "I've stolen from everyone else. I've taken soul gems from the Mages Guild. I've robbed the treasury of the most secure fortress. I cheated the Archbishop of Julianos. I even pickpocketed the Emperor Pelagius at his coronation. I thought it was your turn." "I'm flattered," the man nodded. "Now that your ambition has been thwarted, what will you do? Flee? Perhaps retire? Teach me, the girl replied, a little grin finding its way unconsciously on her face. I picked all your locks. I slipped past all your wards. You designed them. You know how difficult that was for someone without training. I didn't come here for 6 gold pieces. I came here to prove myself. Make me your student. The Master of Stealth looked at the little girl burglar. Your skill is not in need of training. Your planning is adequate, but I can help you with that. What is without hope is your ambition. You are past stealing for your livelihood. Now you steal for the pleasure of it, for the challenge. That's a personality trait which is incurable and will lead you to an early grave. Haven't you ever wanted to steal that which can't be stolen? The girl asked. Something that would make your name known forever? The master did not answer. He only frowned. Clearly, I was fooled by your reputation, she shrugged and opened a window. I thought you might want a willing accomplice on some great act of thievery, which would go down in history. Like you said, my skill at planning is only adequate. I didn't have in mind an escape route, but this will have to do. The burglar slipped down the sheer wall, dashed across the shadowy courtyard, and within a few minutes was back in her room in the rundown tavern. The master was waiting for her there, in the dark. I didn't see you go past me, she gasped. You turned on the street when you heard the owl call, he replied. The most important tool in the thieves' repertoire is distraction, either planned or improvised. I suppose your lessons have begun. And what is the final test? The girl smiled. When he told her, she could only stare. She had, it seemed, not misunderstood his reputation for daring. Not at all. Chapter 2. For the week leading up to the 8th of Hearthfire, the skies above Rindale were dark and alive as clouds of crows blotted out the sun. Their guttural squawks and groans deafened all. The peasants wisely bolted their doors and windows, praying to survive that most unholy of days. On the night of the summoning, the birds fell silent. Their black, unblinking eyes followed the witch's march into the glen. There were no moons to light the way, only the leader's single torch in the gloom. Their white robes appeared as indistinct shapes, like the faintest of ghosts. A single tall tree stood in the middle of the clearing, every branch thick with crows, watching the procession without moving. The lead witch placed the torch at the base of the tree, and her 17 followers formed a circle and began their slow, strange, wailing chant. As they sang, the glow of the torch began to change. It did not diminish at all, but its color became more and more gray, so it seemed a pulsating wave of ash had fallen on the witches. Then it grew darker still, so that for a moment, though the fire yet burned, it was darkest night in the forest. The penumbra continued until the torch was burning with a color without a name, emptiness beyond mere blackness. It cast a glow, but it was an unnatural scintillation falling on the witches. Their robes of white became black. The Dunmer among them had eyes of green and ivory white flesh. The Nords appeared black as coal. The crows watching overhead were as pure white as the witches' cloaks. The Daedra Princess Nocturnal stepped out of the pit of uncolor. She stood in the center of the circle, the tree of pallid crows her throne, aloof, as the witches continued their chanting, dropping their robes to prostrate themselves naked before their great mistress. Wrapping her night cloak around her, she smiled at their song. It spoke of her mystery, of veiled beauty, of eternal shadows, and a divine future when the sun burns no more. Nocturnal let her cloak slide from her shoulders and was naked. Her witches did not raise their head from the ground, but continued in the darkness. Now, said the girl to herself. She had been up in the tree all day, dressed in a ridiculous suit of mock crows. It was uncomfortable, but when the witches had arrived, she forgot all her aches and concentrated on being perfectly still, like the other crows in the tree. It had taken considerable planning and study between her and the Master of Stealth to find the glen, and to learn what to expect in the summoning of Nocturnal. Gently, silently, the burglar eased herself down the branches of the tree, coming closer and closer to the Daedra Princess. She let herself break her concentration for just a moment, and wondered where the Master was. He had been confident in the plan. He had said that when Nocturnal dropped her cloak, there would be a distraction, and it could be quickly taken in that instant, provided the girl was in position at the precise right moment. The girl climbed along the lowest of branches, carefully pushing aside the crows that were, as the Master said, transfixed by the princess and her naked beauty. The girl was now close enough, if she only reached out her arm, to touch Nocturnal's back. The song was rising to a crescendo, and the girl knew that the ceremony would soon be over. Nocturnal would clothe herself before the witches ended the chant, and the chance to take the cloak would be over. The girl gripped the tree branch tightly as her mind raced. Could it be that the Master was not here at all? Was this conceivably the entire test? Was it only to show that it could be done, not to do it? The girl was furious. She had done everything perfectly, but the so-called Master of Stealth had proven himself a coward. Perhaps he had taught her a little in the months that it took to plan this, but what was it worth? Only one thing made her smile. On that night, when she had stolen into his stronghold, she had kept one single gold piece, and he had never suspected it. It was symbolic, as symbolic as stealing the cloak of Nocturnal in its way, proving that the master thief could be robbed. The girl was so lost in her mind that she thought she imagined it for a moment when a man's voice yelled out from the darkness, "Mistress!" The next words she knew she didn't imagine. "Mistress! A thief! Behind you!" The witches raised their heads and screamed, ruining the sanctity of the ceremony as they charged forward. The crows awoke and burst from the tree in an explosion of feathers and toad-like cries. Nocturnal herself whirled around, affixing the girl with her black eyes. "Who art thee? Who dares profane?" the princess hissed, as the pitch shadows flew from her body, enveloping the girl in their lethal chill. In the last instant, before she was swallowed alive by darkness, the girl looked to the ground and saw that the cloak was gone, and she answered, as she understood, "Oh, who am I? I'm the distraction."
Darkest Darkness. In Morrowind, both worshippers and sorcerers summoned lesser Daedra, and bound Daedra as servants and instruments. Most Daedric servants can be summoned by sorcerers only for very brief periods, within the most fragile and tenuous frameworks of command and binding. This fortunately limits their capacity for mischief, though in only a few minutes most of these servants can do terrible harm to their summoners as well as their enemies. Worshippers may bind other Daedric servants to this plane through rituals and pacts. Such arrangements result in the Daedric servant remaining on this plane indefinitely, or at least until their bodily manifestations on this plane are destroyed, precipitating their supernatural essences back to oblivion. Whenever Daedra are encountered at Daedric ruins or in tombs, they are almost invariably long-term visitors to our plane. Likewise, lesser entities bound by their Daedra lords into weapons and armor may be summoned for brief periods, or may persist indefinitely so long as they are not destroyed and banished. The class of bound weapons and bound armors summoned by temple throwers and conjurers are examples of short-term bindings. Daedric artifacts like Mehirn's razor and the mask of Clavicus Vile are examples of long-term bindings. The Tribunal Temple of Morrowind has incorporated the veneration of Daedra as lesser spirits subservient to the immortal Amsivi, the tribune godhead of Almalexia, Sotasil and Vivek. These subordinate Daedra are divided into the good Daedra and the bad Daedra. The good Daedra have willingly submitted to the authority of Almsivi. The bad Daedra are rebels who defy Almsivi, treacherous kin who are most often adversaries than allies. The good Daedra are Boethia, Azura and Mephala. The Hunger is a powerful and violent lesser Daedra associated with Boethia, father of plots. A sinuous, long-limbed, long-tailed creature with a beast-skulled head, noted for its paralyzing touch and its ability to disintegrate weapons and armor. The Winged Twilight is a messenger of Azura, goddess of dusk and dawn. Winged Twilights resemble the feral harpies of the West, though the feminine aspects of the
Remember the poem. A long bow and a strong bow, and let the sky grow dark. The knock to the cord, the shaft to the ear, and a foreign king for a mark. Nothing like a brisk cool day in Skyrim, is there, friend? Excellent. What is your evaluation of this recruit? Did he now? Well, I'll have to keep a closer eye on this one. Thank you for your report. We've been warned that the bandit leader who occupied this fort is not happy that we killed his people and took over Helgen. We have it on good authority that he's trying to regroup his forces near Pine Watch, and they have dug out the old mine there. They are making weapons and preparing to attack us, and take Helgen back for themselves. Take that little Nord, Herd, with you, and see what you can find and report back to me. Recruit, stand tall, soldier. Recruit, I don't give praise very easily, but I have to say, job well done. Keep up the good work, soldier. There just may be a job for you here after all, Catman. You may resume your normal duties. Dismissed.
For the eyes.
Sir, thank you, sir.
Feel the wind. A small gust can ruin the best shot. Well, remember the poem. A long bow and a strong bow, and let the sky grow dark. The knock to the cord, the shaft to the ear, and a foreign king for a mark. Keep just within range of your attack. No closer. Always follow through when you release your arrow.
Right away. I can't wait to show you what I can do. But, where are we going? Bandits have neither courage or honor. I will give them a coward's death.
Got some good pieces out here if you're looking to buy. More inside. Looking to protect yourself or deal some damage? Don't forget to check inside the shop.
You
if
have
need
something to say? You give me best equipment, yes? Okay, let us get back to it.
I don't claim to be the finest weapons and armor. Thanks for the business.
Welcome to Bellathor's General Goods. Welcome indeed. Everything's for sale, my friend. Everything. If I had a sister, I'd sell her in a second. Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that. Do come back.
Take a good look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. If not, let me know. I might have it stored away. Need something? Take a look.
take a look.
Until next time. Huh?
Pardon me. Ah, so you're an alchemist then? Come back anytime if you need a remedy. I sell cures for all ills, and I'll be happy to serve you. If there's anything I can help, you have but to ask. I offer remedies for ailments, common and rare. Do let me know if I can be of service. I have several elixirs for sale. So you're interested in my potions and ingredients? Farewell.
At last.
Just a scratch.
Like that, were you? Go ahead. Try and fight. And you lose that.
you in.
You want to talk? What would you have me do? How can I help you, my friend? What is on your mind? I hope this will be a mutually beneficial exchange. Let us go.
We do enjoy our big two-handed weapons, don't we? there was such a thing as a four-handed weapon, we could wield it together.
What do you need? I will lighten your load if I can. Let us go.
surprise.
Yes, my friend. What is yours is mine. What's next? Something on your mind? What are we trading? If you need anything else, just ask. Excuse me, my friend. Speak to me. You want me to lighten your load? Okay, let us get back to it.
Don't touch my stuff. What is it? I appreciate you trying to help me and all that, but we haven't really gotten anywhere. I simply don't trust you enough to allow you near my wares. You're talking to me?
Yes? Okay, trading things is always fun. Two hands are better than one.
Killing Before You're Killed by Eduardo Corvas. Tips on effective combat methods. I've seen many a man rush headlong into battle, only to have their life cut short in an instant. I've been a trainer of the warrior arts for many spans, cut from the cloth of a great lineage of knights, blades, and even distant sellswords or two. It's with this knowledge that I'll try to pen a brief treatise on the subtle art of war. Not mage fire, not archery, or criminal throat slitting, but war. Man on man with nothing but a fine bit of steel between them. The first thing you'll need to learn is how to block. The best way not to get killed is not to let the other man hit you. Use a shield, use it well. Now you'll get tired from this. You may even get a little hurt, but a blocked blow is much better than a landed one. Over time you'll get better, eventually shrugging off even the mightiest of hits. But beware, your foes, if they're not base cur bandits, will know how to counter you. They'll hit you with everything they've got in order to open you up and keep on hitting, so watch for these powerful attacks. While it's still better to absorb the impact with a 1/4 inch of steel, it's better just to try to step out of the way. Remember, against spells your blocking is useless unless you're trained. So get up on mages quickly and let them eat steel. Deserves them right for using such a witch weapon. You can also block without a shield as well. Just cross that blow with your sword, though this isn't nearly as effective. And if you decide you're fancy and you want to wield 2 blades, you can't block at all, so don't even try. Without both hands on the hilt, you just won't have the strength to counter the blows. But with a weapon in each hand, you are much more likely to take your opponent down quickly. The best defense, some say. To wield the blade, there are some fundamentals. Quick strikes are always good, but can be repelled, so watch for your opponent's own defense postures. Wait for an opening or create one with your own heavy attacks. Hammers hit the hardest, but are slow. Same with maces and all blunt weaponry. Axes are a nice middle ground, while swords are the quickest, but won't stagger your opponent as efficiently with the hard hits. Keep an eye not to get too exhausted. Always try to save a little of your strength to counter blows or even to run. Keep moving during a fight. Never let yourself get cornered or surrounded. Pick your threats. Weak spellcasters that can hurt you quick are the first things I fell. The shield is not only a defensive tool. Put your shoulder into it and bash your opponent. This sends them flying and opens them up for quick counter assaults. Even better, put extra weight into it and power bash your opponent. If they're small, this will put them on their knees. Bigger opponents cannot be staggered by heavy attacks. Only the power bash will really knock them around and create openings for you to exploit. So again, block, counter, bash. Hit them while they're down. They'll show no mercy, so why should you? Battle is about the offensive, about catching your foe early and never relenting. Keep moving, keep swinging. If you consider yourself overly powerful, pick up a 2-handed weapon and see your foes fall before you like wheat stalks. They're slow and unwieldy, but they shatter bones and cleave flesh better than anything. The graves are filled with many a mediocre swordsman. If you don't have the stomach for war, try a monk's work. But if you do travel the path of the warrior, learn the basics and keep your head firmly planted on your shoulders, or someone's bound to lop it off.
Pardon me? Hey, that was a medium bump. I didn't love it, but it was not your... like the bump of a flea. Get it? It's just what a bandit would say, only I changed... What? Get it? Hey, how was it for you growing up in... Hey, this just gives a whole new meaning to running into people, huh? Maybe you should try more walking.
That's it. Put your back into it. You are doing well. We should get you cured of that illness. Let's do this.
Fight of a flea.
Ah, Reaver Wolf.
You're as good as dead.
You will not have to worry about being ugly ever again. With you.
I'm gonna kill you. That's all you got. That's your best, huh? I'll rip you in half.
What is on your mind?
Remember, a good leader is brave but not reckless, firm but not rigid. I'll carry what I can.
Let us go.
Who's got your back? I do. All right, I'll carry this for you. Right behind you.
Let me know if you see anything you like. Welcome to War Maidens, the finest weapons and armor. Good doing business with you.
Watch what you're doing.
Whiterun is quite lovely.
Something on your mind? Right behind you.
What are you doing that for?
Take a good look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. If not, let me know. I might have it stored away. Everything's for sale, my friend. Take a look. Do come back.
Chops and steaks fit for your
See anything you like.
Oh, hi.
Bye.
I
Do
bet
you
you could
often
get a
get
good price
looks
for those
when
gems.
We've
you
got
enter
small
this
weapons
place?
as well.
I mean, being a strong,
Blades,
formidable,
helmets,
and dominant
pretty much
male
anything
lord
to suit
now.
your needs. Mm-hmm.
imperial machine enforces the will of the Dalmor against its own people.
If you can hear me...
So rise up, children of the Empire. Rise up, Stormcloaks. Embrace the word of mighty Talos, he who is both man and divine. Trust in me, Whiterun. Trust in Heimskell. For I am the truth.
Hello, friend. Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that. Take care of yourself.
Come on in. Just stoke the fire. Take a seat and get the...
What are you doing that for?
If it's work you need, how about chopping up some wood for the fires? Let's sate that appetite, hmm? Need anything else? Just let me know.
Do you think male lords such as yourself receive the same treatment in these
I'm the
sort
commander
of
of the guard
establishments?
here in Whiterun.
Got something for just about everybody in here. Give a haul. I'd even buy one of your relatives if you're looking to sell. Yeah, that's a little joke. Of course. For that price? Sure.
If you can.
It's all in this note.
Nothing.
It was a pleasure.
Good to see you. Yes, very much so. Ah, I see. Perhaps this one will continue to surprise us. Thank you. There's a new owner of the Upper Embershard mine down below here who wants to resume operations there. But the rumor is that the mine is haunted, and he can find anyone willing to go to work for him. Take Oriante with you, see what you can find, and report back to me. Recruit, stand tall, soldier. Well, kinsman, I didn't think you had it in you. Good job, soldier. You may resume your normal duties.
Sir, thank you, sir.
Use your chin or your cheek to anchor the drawer.
Yes, right away. But where are we going? Lead the way.
Looks like that was the last of them. But we should be cautious in case there are others.
used to stay
Hey, watch it!
hiding behind that wall. No. Inigo and his friend killed them all. For these
Hey, stop! If we are talking, we are not running. What is it? Sure, but let me know if you want me to stop or anything.
Another victory for my hero.
all over and die, and the pain will end. Let me bash in that foreign face.
Hard to put you out.
Messing with.
Hello? Did you come to play with me? I don't have any friends here and I'm so lonely. Come and play with me and we can play forever and ever. You'll see. Just come on and let's play. You're not scared, are you? Did you see him? Did you? He was up there on the ledge for just a second. You must have made him really mad for him to come out like that. I'm Hannah, and he's a very mean and nasty man. My mommy and daddy used to work in here, and they'd bring me along to play sometimes. But one day, there was this big cave-in, and I haven't seen them since then. Yes, I know. They're dead. And I know I'm dead too. Because of the bad man. He won't let me leave and go be with Mommy and Daddy. He makes me be mean to other people who come in here. But it's him, not me. I don't want to scare and hurt people. But he makes me. I'm scared all the time and just want to go home. Hey, I know what. If you can make him go away, maybe I can go be with my family. You killed his spiders, his skeletons, and even his dragon. I bet you can kill him, too. Can you help me? Please? Okay, first you need to go to the bottom of the mine. It's scary down there and you can hear miners, but you can't really see them much. I think they're trapped here, too. But they won't ever talk to me. But you might need to kill them all. It will make him mad, and he'll probably come after you again, like when you killed the others. I better go before he comes back. He won't like me talking to you, but I'll try and see if I can talk to you later.
Good way to lose weight. Except if you lose.
To help me? Now I know you can help me go home. Well, he has the secret place on down in the mine. I think it's where he comes from. You'll have to go in there and kill him. I don't think I can talk to you anymore right now. But if I can, I'll try to talk to you, after, well, you know. I think he's going to come for me, so I better run and hide. Goodbye. go be with my mommy and daddy. Here, I won't need this anymore, so you can have it. It helped me hide from that bad man sometimes. Okay then, I think it's time for me to go now. I'll never forget you. Goodbye.
You can ask me to pardon me.
Oh, hello! Always good to see you, Dragonborn. Great. And she made it back alive, I see. How did she do? Excellent. I've been hoping you would say that. This says some archaeologists have been trying to dig their way into an old buried ruin and woke up all the Draugr in there. The archaeologists said they must have dug up something evil because they ran for their lives. Take her brother Sorian and see what you find. Recruit! Soldier, I fought side by side with your countrymen years ago. You have made them and me proud. Dismissed.
Sir, thank you, sir.